Okay, let me share my screen. So, who can give me a recap quickly of what we've been doing so far?
Sorry, briefly, attendance has been posted. The class rep has posted the attendance. Briefly, thank you, ma.
Okay, so who wants to share what they've learned today so far? What we've done throughout today? Anybody? Anybody?
Okay, let me try. So today we looked at Favicon, which is a way of adding image to your name tag, like the name that appears on the search engine, sort of the one at the top. So the way we learned how to add it. Also, we learned about lists, the different ways of adding lists, and the different ways, which include order, unordered, and then others. So the order is you can put them in bulletin points. It doesn't have to be in any order, like maybe alphabetical or numerical order. But then the ordered list has to be in order. And the tag, the syntax is OL. For the unordered is UL. And then you can add the list by putting LI, which is list. And then also we learned about, as part of the list, or as part of how to do list, we learned how to do list in list, sort of. So you can put a list and add another list. We also learned how to do a list and then describe it. That's DT, DD, and all of that. And then also we learned about the block and inline. The block just takes the whole space, and then the inline just takes a portion. The block starts from the beginning and spans throughout the page, but the inline can just be used in between a text, in between a text specifically. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Elise. Thank you so much. You're doing amazing. You also gave a well-detailed recap earlier on. So like I said after the breakdown, we're going to look at classes, ID, and tables, right? So for classes and ID, so we said they are majorly used to specify, solve the problem, whereby if you have more than one H1 or more than one H2, right, and you're trying to solve, or are trying to give those H1 and H2 different attribute type, but in your CSS, if you call H1, it affects all the H1 that there is. So either you give your H1 a specific class name or an ID name so that you can differentiate it of like an identity identity tag or something like that. Sure. So for your class attributes, I'm also using div, whereby div is a container that houses other elements. You can house like P, H1, and all of those things. So the HTML class attributes is used to specify a class for an HTML element. So multiple HTML elements can share the same class. That is, more than one HTML element can share the same class, especially in cases whereby that HTML class, you want them to do the same thing. Maybe you're trying to do 3 things at the same time and you want them to have the same features. So if you want them to have the same features, you give all of those elements the same class, right? Then when you give all of those elements the same class, what do? You now style the class, you use the class name. So how you represent your class name in your style is dots, right? And how you represent your ID in your style, like your CSS, maybe inline, external, or internal, is using what relates elements with the specific what class name. So in this example, you will see 3 div elements with a class attribute called city, and all of the 3 div elements will be styled equally according to the word dot city, the way I explained it. So let's click on this, try it yourself. So can you see that? So we have 3 divs, right? That is city 1, city 2, city 3, and we want this div to have the same thing. So what do? We gave all of them the what name called what? City, city, city. Then we what styled it here. Right? So the moment when we don't want to give it the same style class, that is when we will not put the class name, right? Okay, so let's continue. So in the following example, we have 2 span elements with a class attribute with the value of notes. So both span elements will be styled according to the notes style definition in the head session. So this is what we mean. So you can use your class for both block, for both inline type of elements, anyhow you want to use them. So can you see? So we said this span here should have what? Text font side of 120% and color of 120, right? So can you see? Why do you think this one is more bolder than this one? If you've already said that the font size should be 120%. So if it's 120%, it's supposed to have the same percentage. Who can answer that question, or who understands that question?
Okay, I can try.
All right.
I think it's relative. I think the percentage is relative to its original size. So for instance, each element is originally bigger than the P element. So when you apply something of 120%, it's going to increase the original size by 120%. So it's not going to be exactly the same. It's just going to be relative to what it was before. So this is 120% bigger than the original size. That is what I think.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. That's actually the answer to the question. Well done, Elise. You answered that beautifully, actually. No, we're no longer on the recap. We're now doing class, explaining class. All right, well done, Elise. I love how you answered that question. So one tip you must note is that the class attributes can be used on any HTML element, right? And the class name is also case sensitive. Like, always know that the class name is case sensitive, and you can learn much more about CSS in CSS tutorial, right? Then the syntax for the class. So to create a class, you write a period followed by a class name. Then you define the CSS properties within what? Curly braces. Then you can have multiple classes, right? Whereby the HTML elements can belong to more than one class. So to define multiple class, separate the class name with a space, and the elements will be styled according to the class specified. So I'll explain in details what this means. What this is just saying is that when you have an element can have more than one class, right? So, and if the element has more than one class, right? The only difference between the 2 elements is what? Space. Because now we already have another class called main, does not mean that we'll not declare another class. I don't know if you understand what I mean. If you understand what I mean, drop this emoji in the chat box. I want to be sure that you guys are following what I just explained. Are you guys with me? If you understand what I just said, drop an emoji in the chat box. All right, so only Ozioma understands. Any other person? Okay, Elise. Any other person? All right. Pam does not understand. Don't worry, Pam. I'm going to re-explain. Okay, Fatima understood. Okay, Miruvi did not understand. Okay. All right. So I knew that would be a bit confusing. That's why I said you should do that little exercise, right? So look at this now, right? I said normally that an HTML elements, you can give more than one element multiple what classes. That is, you can H2, H1, P, and maybe you have div. can have the same what class name, right? And the class name can affect all those elements that you give. And I said the way you can have one class name spread across different elements, you can have more than one class name in one element. So this is what I mean. So can you see this H2 here now, right? You can see this H2. This H2 what has two classes. The first class is city and the second class is main. The thing differentiating this city and main class is the space behind, right? In between them rather. So you can have more than one class in what you do. You can have more than one class, and each of all these class property that you've called, right? This city and this main, each of the class property you've called, they will reflect, right? They will reflect in your words, in your class. Is that clear? Have we gotten it? If you've gotten it now, can I get a thumbs up? If you've got, for those people that didn't understand earlier, and you've gotten it now, can I get a thumbs up? So that we can move. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay, good to go. So we could not just declare in this class, you cannot have two classes. Like after we've declared class city, they will not come again class equals to main. No, we can just use the same one class that we declared. But the only difference is that we'll just leave space in between the first class and the second class. So yes, we are good to go. So let's continue with the next one. So different elements can share what same class. The way I explained earlier that you can have elements H2. You can have elements H2, P, div, have the same class name, right? And with the use of the class attributes, you can use class attributes in JavaScript. I don't want to go so much details inside this because you've not done JavaScript. So you'll not be asking me some questions, but I'm going to show you what that means, right? So now they created a Java function called my function, right? Then we said that when you click on elements button, and when you click on the elements button, this function here should happen. Then what hide element should be on that button. But when you click on it, my function should be what happen, right? Then you always declare your JavaScript in your element called what script if you done inline. So it's either you put your scripts, JavaScript inline, or it is kept what externally, right? So you create a function. So when you create the my function, you say var x is equal to what document dot get element by class name. If you notice this city here, they use the class name city. So they are saying what this line just basically means, right? What this line just basically means is that they're saying that you should get a class name called city, right? And declare that class name called city to be what x. And if you declare another variable called I is equal to 0. If your 0 is less than your x, that is the number of lengths in your x, increments your I, that is add your I. And when you add your I, display and display none. So before you ran it, this was how it was. Then the moment when you click on the button, it's carrying out this function. This function here called my function. So the moment when you click on it, it's saying London is the capital of England, Paris is the capital of France, and Tokyo is the capital of Japan. Do you all get that? You don't have to feel bad. Don't worry, you will get it. That's why I didn't want to show JavaScript though. Don't worry, JavaScript is small. I trust you guys. With the stunts you guys have been pulling up since, you guys are good class. So JavaScript cannot even come close. JavaScript should not threaten you. Rather, JavaScript should see you. JavaScript should shake. Because a world-class developer is about to use it. So that being said, the things you should note in this chapter is what the HTML class attributes specifies more than one the HTML class attributes specifies one or more class names for an element. The classes are used by CSS and JavaScript to select and access specified elements. The class attributes can be used on any HTML elements. The class name is case sensitive. Different HTML elements can point to the same class name, and the JavaScript can access elements with a specific class name with the get element by what class name method. So you will do all of this exercise as an homework. I don't want us to waste our time. Or would you guys promise to do it quickly? Oh yeah, no. Okay, let's quickly do the exercise. Let's quickly do the exercise. Remove. The exercise is just 3. It's just 3 that is left. So if you are done with the exercise, drop your favorites. Oh, sorry about that, Bilikis. So when you are done with that, drop your favorite emoji, which signifies that we are ready to go to the next one. When you are done with the exercise. Please, can you mute yourself, or can the class captains help me mute that person? Thank you. Okay, so Fatima is ready for the next class. Only Fatima is ready. What of everyone else? Aren't we ready? Yeah, guys, oh yeah, oh. Okay, okay. I've seen 3 people that are done. I'm waiting for 2 more dons or 2 more emojis and remove. Oh, wait, Sharon just joined this class today, right? So Sharon, how have you been coping if you just joined this class today? It just occurred to me that you might have not even had Visual Studio Code before or anything. So Sharon, talk to me. Are you a novice? Are you in intermediate level? Maybe you typed done now. I gave them an exercise. You typed done. You're not saying wait, done with what? Sharon, please talk to me. Sharon, are you there? Oh, you've never done this before. Wow, interesting. And since in the morning, you didn't even ask us that what's going on. Oh? I'm just new here. Oh, what's happening? Oh? It is that you never asked the question about attendance. In all honesty, I wouldn't have known that we had a newcomer here, right? So the best way I can help you, if that you told me earlier, right, I would have helped you with some things, told you the text editor to download and all of those things so that at least you can even flow in the class. So I will send this Visual Studio Code link to you. So I don't know if you have Visual Studio Code before. Do you have any text editor before? You don't even know what text editor means. Sharon, I'm talking to you. Okay, you don't know. All right, so I'll send this link to you. Try to download it if you are using a Windows, Mac, or something, right? So just download it. And when you download it, watch those videos. I'll advise you watch those videos and those classes that we've missed in the past. Please do that so that by tomorrow you could have questions that cannot. Please, can you mute yourself? Who is that person? All right. So that's for Sharon. So I've sent you the link that you use to download the Visual Studio Code. Try to download the Visual Studio Code and watch those videos that the link to the previous class. You would see what has been going on. Then jot your questions down. Oh wow, you are using your phone at home. You actually need your system. If not, you will not follow what's going on in class. Actually, you cannot use your phone to code, right? You need this thing to code. It's not your phone you need to code. I don't even know what to say again, Sharon. But Sharon, try to listen to all the classes that we've missed so you'll be able to get something out of this class. Otherwise, you won't get much out of this class. You'll be frustrated and you leave. So we're ready to move on to the HTML ID attributes. So the ID attribute is used to specify a unique ID for an HTML element, right? And you can have one element with the same HTML ID. So the HTML ID is similar to class, but they are not the same. So pay attention because somebody's going to tell me the difference between both of them. But it's a unique ID for an HTML element, right? And you cannot have more than one element with the same ID on HTML document. So who can tell me the difference between class and ID? Anybody?
Okay, for the class, you can have more than one element with the same class name, but an ID cannot do that. You cannot have the same ID name for more than one element.
All right. Thank you so much, Fatima. So Fatima is really, really, really correct. She's right. For your class name, I mentioned that your class can have what? Multiple, the same class name for multiple what? Elements, right? But your ID cannot have the same ID for multiple class. And the reason why is because it's a unique name. Like it is just only should be unique to one name. And I'll tell you why it is unique to one name. It is unique to one name because you use ID most times when you want to link. You use ID most times as link, right? And it will not make sense if your ID name has more than one, like your ID name has more than one place you can link it to confuse the computer. That if you put ID, this is going to maybe H2 or P, right? That is confusing. So because of that, it's just only uses one element. So you can just only use one element, I mean one ID name for one element. You cannot use the same ID name for more than one element, the way you can do, the way you do for what? For class. So things you should note when using the ID attributes is that the ID attributes specify a unique ID for an HTML element, right? And the value of the ID attributes must be unique within the HTML document. The ID attribute is used to point to a specific style declaration in a style sheet. And it is also used by JavaScript to access and manipulate the element. So it has some similarities in class, but it also has its what difference. So this is an example of how it works, right? So this is an ID name. The ID name is my header, and you can see that they use this my header to like change this my header here. So it's just this my header here that the right color blue color, that's the text, black, padding, 80 pixels, and text align center, right? So that's what differentiates what IDs from what from class. So note that ID name is also case sensitive. The way your class name is also case sensitive. Your ID name is also case sensitive. And the ID name must contain at least one character. It cannot start with a number and must contain white spaces like tab, space, and all of those things. So the difference between class and ID is that they said the class name can be used by multiple HTML elements, while an ID name must only be used by one HTML element, right? So we have my header. That's for the ID, and that city is for what? Class, right? So you can see that my header could only be used for my cities up there, while this multiple class could use those other things. So you can use HTML for bookmarks with ID and links. I explained this earlier. And also you can use the ID attribute in JavaScript. You can use it for JavaScript. I don't want to go deep into the JavaScript because you will not understand anything. Let me not confuse you, but it can be used for JavaScript. So let's quickly do the exercise. Then when we are done, we'll drop an emoji. So let's do that. So let's do the exercise. So now we're moving towards tables. It seems like I even want us to do no. Tomorrow. So if we are done doing the exercise, don't hesitate to share an emoji. So I'm waiting for us to be done with the exercise. Okay, Fatima is done. Who else? If I get 4 more smiley, we'll move. Okay. We need 4 more to go. Okay, we need some more. One more. All right. So I've gotten 5. So let's move to the next one. And the next one is what? Tables. Well done, guys. Peace. I've not heard your voice today. Oh. You are very quiet today, Peace. What's going on? Is Peace in this
Nothing.
meeting?
I'm in the class. I've been submitting my classwork and I was just quiet. Well, I'm participating.
Oh, okay. I noticed that you've not been asking questions like you were yesterday. And I'm also looking for Stephanie. Stephanie was active yesterday and the day first day. I don't think she's around today. So let's continue, right? So we have HTML tables. So the tables allows web developer to arrange data in rows and what? In columns. So this is an example, right? This is a company, the contact, and the country. So you see how this was done. So can you see? This is just the HTML, and the other part is the CSS part. The HTML is from the table tag, table element rather. You can see something called TR, and we can see TH inside the TR, right? Don't worry, we get to see it fully. Then they styled it. It was the style that made it have life. And that's why I say CSS is more like flesh. The HTML is what? The skeleton. And you see why I said so. As you proceed, you see. So they said define an HTML table. So a table in HTML consists of table cells inside what? Rows and columns. So can you see how this table looks now? This one even looks fine itself because this. Imagine if this style is not here, right? I mean, run. Can you see? Can you see how ugly this table is? But that's the map up, right? That's the map up of the table. And the table would have more life if you had your CSS. So what's your question, Ijoma? I'm listening. Ijoma.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know. My one is W3 school. This table is before this the ones we've done before now, or are you went back?
It's before. You know, we're supposed to do it in the morning, but I said that was where our homework was going to come from. That it's better I do it in the evening so that we can take our homework from there.
Okay.
So it's before, it is not after what we did. We skipped it earlier.
All right.
Yes. So we have something called table cells. So each table cells is defined by what? A TD, right? A TD stands for table tag. And everything between the TD and the content of the what? Table cells, right? So the elements you use here what is table elements. Then in table elements we have TR and we have TD, right? What do you think TR means?
Table rows.
Yes,
Think
table rows. What about TD?
the table data.
Yes, table data. Thank you so much. So TR is your what role. I know your table always have what rows and what columns. So we have something called TH. TH is your headings. So sometimes you want your cells to be headers. In those cases, use the TH tag instead of the what TD tag. Instead of to use TD tag, use TH tag, right? So okay, I don't know if you should let's do this exercise first. This first one. Then when you're done, comment in the comment section. Don't just only one, no, it's just only one you should do. Then we'll now move to table brothers. Are we good to go? Are we dropping our favorite emoji? Just that one exercise. Just let's do one, just one exercise. So it seems like I've gotten 5 dons. So we move, or I'll give Grace of what 2 extra minutes, 12:45. Then we move. So we need 2 more minutes. Then we move in 2 minutes time. One more minute. Okay, so it's 12:45. The 1 minute is up. So now what to look at what HTML table borders, right? So for the borders, yesterday I mentioned borders when I was talking about what? When I was talking about colors, right? And that's why I now said that borders are part of your what? Your box models. That 5 things make up your box model, which is your width, your height, your padding, your margin, and your border. So this border, what it does is that what your border does is that it helps, right? It helps you to set your table and make your table more defined. So here you had a border using the CSS border title on table TB and TD elements, right? So for table TH and TB, border is one pixel solid what? Black. Then we have a collapsed table. This one is just a normal border. Then this one is a collapsed table border. To avoid having double borders like the example above, like the one we saw before, you will set the CSS border collapse property. Please can you mute? And am I breaking? Am I breaking? Okay. Okay, so let me continue. So how do you style these table borders? What have I pressed though? So you style your table borders, that is, if you set the background color of each cell and give the border a white color, the same as the document background, you get the impression of an invisible border. So if you didn't put your border to be the same color of this color that is here, what do you think would have happened? It would have been what? It would have been similar to what we have here, but what we have here is what is with the same color as the document. So your round table borders. So with your round radius property, the borders get rounded corners. So we have table TH and TB. So the border 1 pixel solid black, solid border radius. So skip the border around the table by leaving out table from the section CSS what selector. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, I should start border again. Now. Please give me a few minutes. So sorry about that. So I'll take this again because people said they did not understand this border. So there's something called what? Box models, right? It is part of your, like, the properties around what? An element. So every element has this box model. So the box model is a property that is associated with the what? With every element. And this property include what? Your height, your width, your padding, your margin, and your border. So that's where your border comes. So you find your border around your table, right? So what we're doing here is just that we're just showing different styles and different methods at which you can style your border, right? Your table border. So you can either style your table border using the square, right? Or the round table borders. So this is how the round table border looks like, right? And the dotted table borders, right? And you can give these table border colors to identify them. Just pay attention. So we have different table size also. Your table size can have different column or row. You know how we do tables when we're trying to do our Word document. We know how we do our tables, right? We used to have different sizes. We have different columns, rows, or for the entire. Please, can you mute yourself? And am I cracking? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Please mute yourself so you don't distract me. So your table has borders, and there are different ways at which your borders can be represented. They can be represented as triangle, they can be represented as rounded, and all of those things. And your table also have sizes, right? So this table can have different size for each column, row, or the entire table. So you use the style attributes with either width or width or height properties, right, to solve that. So your table style, you can give it a width of 100%, so that it's going to, remember I said that 100% width covers the whole screen. So let me share my screen so you see what, I'll show you what this means. So can you see that this covered the whole screen, but it's based on what? The table role. How small the table role is. The first name, and see that one is larger, the last name is larger than your age. So each role has what's happening. How do we get here? Okay, bye-bye. All right, so each role has each name you want it to have. So you write based on role, not based on colon, right? So the first role, we have our name, is the first role that has the word TH, the table head, which includes our first name, the last name, and your age. Then each role of that table now follows, and each role is now following what you've given attributes to the table head, last name, and first name, and all of that. Who understands what I'm saying? If you understand what I've been saying so far till this place, please give me a thumbs up. If you understand what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me the one that goes down like bullseye. If you don't understand, give me the opposite of this thumbs up, the one that is facing down. Okay. With the hands I've seen so far, nobody has indicated that. So let's continue. So they say you should know that using a percentage as the size unit of a width means how wide will this element be compared to its parent element, which in this case is the what? Body element. So we have what? HTML table column width. So to set the size of a specific column, like you want a particular column to be bigger than the other size, you add the style attributes on the TH or TD elements. So the TH is the what? Table head, and the TD is what? Table data. So the particular column where you want it to have more size, right? You will put your what? You will put your what? Style attribute on that what? Tag. It can be the TD. So you can see the TH. So you want it to be wider on this attribute, right? You want first name to be 70%. So it's first name that is 70. So can you see? So it's the first name colon that now has more than the other colon. Do we all get that? All right. So let's continue. So we have also table roll heights. So if you want it to be longer, you know, the other one was wider. If you want it to be longer, you set the height of a specific row and add this attribute. So that row that you want to be longer is your, so if you want it to be longer, you style the row. If you want it to be wider, you style the what colon, right? That will be TD or TH. But this one to be TR, like this, the specific row you want to be long. So can you see this particular row? You want it to be wider, so that's why they increase that row, right? So let's do the exercise for this one quickly. Let's do the exercise. It's just one. And when we're done with the exercise, let's put the thumbs up. So we can continue. So let's do the exercise quickly. And when we're done, let's put smiley that indicates that we're done. Okay, somebody is done. So the height, you can put this in percentage, does not mean. The height can be in percentage. But why they use width is because I told you that your width, your total width normally is 100%, right? So we have some people that has finished. Okay. So let's, okay. And I see more hands, okay? If I get one more hand, then we move to the next one. Okay, so let's move to the next one, which is table what? Headers, right? So your HTML tables can have headers for each row or column, or how many rows or column. So if you want to create something like this using your HTML, right? Can you see it? So the headers can be by the side, or they can be on top, or they can be on both, or it can just be on just one, and just have multiple words lines. So your table headers are defined with TH elements, and each TH element represents what? A table cell, right? So we have our vertical table headers. So to use the first column as table headers, you define the first cell in each row as TH elements. So the first row will have what? If you want to define the TR, the first row, you have defined it as TH. You know, before we were declaring all the old TH together, but this one, in front of each row, that's where you have the TH if you want vertical table heads, right? So to be in the first line of the what? TR. But in these previous cases, right, the TH was in the first TR, right? All the old THs were in the first TR. But in this case, the TH is in the first line of all the old TR. All the old TH is not in one TR. That's for vertical, right? So if you want to do horizontal, it will be the way it used to be. Excuse me. So by default, table heads are what? Bold, and they are centered by default. That's how they are. So if you don't want them to be centered, maybe you want them to go to the left, or you want them to go to the right, then you can do text align. Marivi, I guess this is where your question comes in. How do you use text align? So this is how you use text align. So you can either do text align left, right, or what? Center, right? So for this one, that's how it works, right? That's how you align your words, table headers. So you have header for multiple columns. Like that is, you have one head for more than one columns. So what you just do is that you say colon spam. So you see that colon spam represent like 2 columns, but you have just one head that's representing what? 2 columns. If it should be 3 columns with one head, you do colon span equals to what? 3, or the number of heads. That be the number of columns you want to have to that head. So you can add a caption that serves as a heading for the entire table. That is, this one has monthly savings, January, February, and all of those things, right? So let's do the exercise quickly so that we can do padding and spacing. Sorry about that, Ijoma. So let's do the exercise so that we can move to padding and spacing. And I know do the exercise in class so that if you have questions, you can ask me, because our homework will be coming from tables, right? Our homework will be from tables. So let's do the exercise, and if you've done the exercise, give me a thumbs up to know that you have done the exercise.
Hello, are we all the exercises in tables?
No, not all, just this particular one for table headers. So it's just this
Okay.
particular one for table header. Okay, so I've gotten 3 thumbs up. 4. Okay, let me continue sharing my screen so that we can continue. So if I have 2 more, okay, yeah, so we can move to padding and spacing now, right? So for your padding and spacing, it's just making you what? Adjust the cells inside your tables. So this is where your table has padding, and this is where it has spacing, right? So if it has padding, this is how it looks like, and if it has spacing, this is how it looks like. So for your cell padding is the space between the cell edge and the cell contents. That's it here. That's the edge and what? The cell contents. So to add the padding on your table cells, you use the CSS padding property for the style, right? And to add padding only above the contents, you use the word padding top property. And the other side with the padding bottom, padding left, padding right. That is, if you want the other side. So each one will go like this: padding top, padding left, padding right, padding what? Padding top, padding left and right, padding bottom, and padding what? Right. So that's how your padding what will work. And now but it uses the word CSS property called padding top, padding bottom, and all of those things. So we have cell spacing. So the cell spacing is the space between each cells. You know, this one is between what? The border what? The border and the what? The contents. This one is between each cells. That is from this space to this space, 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 from this LO to this LO, like that. So that's what your cell spacing is. So by default, the space is set to 2 pixels. So if you want to change the cell between table cell, the CSS you will use is what? Border spacing, right? You use your border spacing property on the table of the what element to what achieve that, right? So that's that about what cell spacing. So let's move to close span and row span. We've seen close span earlier. And who can briefly tell me what I said close span was earlier? Somebody quickly. Anybody? Who wants to try? Who wants to
You
try?
said it would make the cell to span over multiple columns.
Okay.
Like if you have a row, a row can be heading 2 or more columns.
All right. So it should give you what? More than what? 1 column for one end. That is, one end can have like 3 columns, 2 columns, depending on the number of columns you want. So that's what your col span and row span does. So for row span, it's for the number of rows you want what your row to have. So it's your row span that helps you achieve this type of row span and col span that helps you achieve this type of complicated tables, right? So can you see this name? Can you see April? Can you see Fiesta? And all of these things, right? So for your HTML table col span, so you will make a cell span over multiple columns. You use the what? The col span attributes. And if it's over multiple rows, you use the what? Row span what attribute. So let's do this exercise quickly. So let's do the exercise. Have you done the exercise? So if you've done the exercise, can I get a thumbs up? All right, I've gotten 2 thumbs up now. For the remaining thumbs up. So bear in mind, your first assignment that you guys will do for me, you do this type of table for me. This one that has Fiesta in the middle with 2022 up, exactly like this. That's your first homework. So you can like to screenshot it and note it. It looks complicated. That's what I want to give you. So let's start with that as your first homework, right? Have you all noted that? Have you all noted the first assignment? I'm waiting for 2 more thumbs up so we can proceed. And if you've noted the first assignment,
What's the assignment?
this one that has Fiesta, this table that has Fiesta, create it.
But you post it in the group now.
Yes, you post it. I will see your code though. It's not just by you showing me a picture. I must see your code.
Okay,
So
and
you'll
I'm
be doing a lot of
screenshot both now.
eh?
We'll screenshot both the coding part and the output.
Yes. And do it in your assignment.html. It's in
Okay.
your assignment.html folder, you should do that, right? And that's not the only assignment though. Everything will be on tables, but I'll show you the remaining ones. But this is the first one. Don't worry, this is not to find X and Y. It's easy, it's very, very simple. Just look at the process, you will get it. You gotta figure it out. And that's how you actually learn. If I've spoon-fed you, you will not want to think and learn. Okay, I guess we're done with this. So let's move to the next table styling, right? So for table styling, what happens is that you can style your table any way you want to style it. You can give it zebra stripes. That is, if you had a background color on every row, you will get a nice zebra stripes effect like this, right? Don't worry, you'll see the try it yourself. So how this works is that they use the nth child. So the nth child, just count how many child that there is. So if you say even, it's to count all the even nth child. If you say odd, it's to count all the odd child and give the odd child those number, right? So can you see this? So this one is even, right? So it's giving all the even numbers the color, and this one is giving all the odd numbers the color, right? So you can combine both horizontal and vertical stripes to make your table look more beautiful. So for you to combine, you will say nth child even for th, and then for td nth child even, and for tr nth child even. So we have horizontal dividers. We have what? Horizontal dividers, something like this, right? That's what helps divide our table. So if you want to use this type of style of table, this is how you do or achieve this, right? And we have overable table. So your overable table, you use over, so that when we come over it, can you see? You can over around it. That's for your overable table. Then this one is just your horizontal dividers. This one just divides. But this one, you can over around it, right? So you can click on try it yourself later on in class when you want to do your homework to get a full grasp about it. Then we have the call group elements. So the call group element is used to style specific columns of a table. So this one is just for specific areas, it's not for every area. It's just for a specific area of your table. You know that other one was for zebra stripes. That zebra stripes, you use your nth even, right? Your nth child even and nth child. But for this one, you are picking, and one that is going to pick what you want to use. So each group are specified with what? With a call element, and the span attributes specifies how many columns that get the word styles, and the style attribute specifies the style to give the column to. So this is a very limited selection of legal CSS properties for column. So you can click on this link to have more details. So this one is another example. So the column tag must be a child of a table element and should be placed before any other table elements like thread, tr, td, and so on. But after the caption element is presented, right? So we have legal CSS properties that you can use in your code group. So we have width, visibility, background, border. All of these are CSS properties. So you're already getting to know them now. So when you start seeing them in your CSS, which you'll be doing from next week, it's not going to look strange. Like it's something that you already know, right? So if you want to style more columns with different styles, you use more column elements inside the code group. That is code spam, this, code spam, that. You can click on that right yourself to see it. Then we have empty code groups too. So if you want to style columns in the middle of a table, you insert an empty column element. If you want to hide columns, you use visibility, collapse, or you should not collapse. So that's that about tables. So any question? If I show your homework. Any question on tables? Any question on tables? Oh. Why didn't you eat during your break time, Ijoma? Sorry about that, by the way. Okay, so let me explain code. So there's a lot attached to it, right? But it deals with what? It deals with CSS properties, which is your style, right? So if you want to specify the columns you want to use, so maybe for instance, you want to style the first two columns of the table, you use the word call group and call elements. So the call group is like you're grouping a particular set of columns together and you want to give them a particular properties. So each group are specified with a call element, and the spam attributes specifies how many columns that get the style, right? How many columns get the style? Is it 2 columns? Is it 3? And all of that. Or maybe you are using the offline version that is outdated, but this is the newest version. So yeah, I've sent that. So for example, this is an example of a code group, right? Let me show you. Let me click on try it yourself so you can see it. Right? So this is your try it yourself, right? So these are different groups, but we want Monday and Tuesday to be in the code group. So we created a element called what? Code group. And we say call equals to 2. That is the 2 first column. That is what it did. So if you say call equals to call group equals to what? 3. Can you see? So if you say 4, it will do for 4. Can you see that? So yeah. So that's how you use your words call group elements. But this tag must be a child of a table. That is, your call group tag must be what? Inside a table. It cannot stand on its own. It cannot function on its own. It must always be what? Under what? A table. And it works with only a very limited selection of CSS properties. So it's only some CSS properties that are allowed to work with code group. And these properties include what? Width, visibility, background, and what? Border, right? So all other CSS properties will have no effect on your what? On your table. So if you want to style more columns with different styles, use more column elements inside the what? Column group. So we have table, we have call group. So let me show you what they mean by this now. We want different styles. So can you see? So we said the first 2 should have what? This particular background. Then the next 3 should have what? This particular background. So if you want this remaining one to have another background, you define another call spam, right? So if it's a lot, you do what? Call group. If you just like 1 or 2, you do what? Call spam. Then we can have empty call group, right? So if you want to start columns in the middle of the table, you will insert a what? Empty column element with no styles for the columns before. So it will be like call group, then call spam 3, call spam 2, right? So you see that the first one will not have any color, but the second one will have colors. Because it's only the middle you want. You don't want these ones to have colors. So if you just want only the middle, So that's how you go about doing it. Put what? The first three that you want empty, you will not give them anything. Then the next two, you give them a particular color that you want them to have. So you can also hide the visibility of your columns. You can make it visible or you cannot make it visible. So I've gone through call. So if you want to do 2, 4, and 6, right? So this is an example. So we want to do what? 2, 4, and 6. So we'll come here first. We'll say call group 1, right? Then call group 1. So can you see that? Don't repeat this again. We'll do it again. So you run. So can you see? So we've done 2, 4, and 6. What we just did that we made this one, the first one, empty. We didn't put anything in it, right? So we'll be able to achieve the 2, 4, and 6. So yeah, that's it. Any other question?
Ma, please explain that 2, 4, and 6 again. I didn't get it. I'm looking at the code, but I'm not getting the way you did
So
it.
the first one, if you notice, we didn't put a background color. We're saying the
Yes.
first one should be what? Empty. Then we said, oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you. Then we said the second one should be what? Please excuse me, give me a few minutes. Okay, so let's continue. So can you see the first one? The first one is what? We didn't put the background color. We're indicating that one. That was oh my god. We're indicating that one should be what? Oh god. Please give me a few minutes. I'm coming. Thank you, Ozoma. It's just so obvious that it's only Ozoma that likes me in this class. Thank you. So let's continue. So for this one, we can see that your call spam, the first one is blank. It does not have a background color. So that one is blank. So because that one is blank, you cannot do anything. You just left it like that. That's why we kept one, because it's only one we want to be blank. Then it has already marked that call spam as the first one. So we're not saying call spam again, one. You're seeing it as the second one, right? So for the second one, I'm saying we should give it a star color background. If you remove this call star one from here, and if I run this, you'll see that it will start from Monday. Can you see that? It started from Monday. But the moment when I say, okay, the first one should be blank, then the second one should have a background color, and I run it, it will have the 2, 4, 6. So we're saying the first one should be call span 1, which is blank. Then the second one is background, should have a background color. Then the third one should be blank. And the fourth one should have a background color. The fifth one should be blank. Then the sixth one should have a background color. So that's what the code just describes. Do you understand? So do we get that?
Yes, ma. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the love. I see you guys.
Thank you. We understand. Thank you very much.
Huh? So I've given you your first homework, right? I don't know why I laughed like that. But I would love to show you your other homework. Ta-da! It's not difficult. It's easy. So I'll send in this link. So you use this link to practice what I sent. So the first one is like the most complicated one. These other ones are very easy, right? So this is the first one. I want you to give me the output of this table. The second one to the output of this one should be something like this. The third one should be like this. The fourth one is similar to that zebra stuff, right? The fifth one, I guess there's not much difference between the fourth and the fifth. So what we can do for this fifth one is that pay attention. Oh, this fifth one should be the one that does that co-span, that is to just be only maths, English, and general knowledge that will have a particular color. Name, science, and physics will now have a color. Oh, they're actually different. If you look closely, number 4 and 5 is different. Do number 4 and 5 the way it is. Number 4 and 5 is actually different. Then number 6 should be like this. Then number 7. If you can get number 7 right, you'll be able to do the first one I ever gave you. It's a bit similar. Then number 8. Number 9, you have 15. Number 10. Plus the one I gave you earlier, so it will be 16. By 11, 12. Okay, they are 12. So with the one I gave you earlier, they are 13, right? You can do it. It's not a lot. It's 13. It's 13. The first one I gave you plus this 12. So let me send the link. Hope you guys will still be my friend after this so much assignment. But it's so that you can learn and practice different kind of tables actually. So if you like, don't be my friend after today. It's for your own good. So it's better you're not my friend now. So when you become the senior dev at Google or at Microsoft, you'll be able to say that, yes, the person that introduced me to person that introduced me to HTML and CSS. He's the one I give this accolades for making me who I am today. So that's why I have to drill you. So then you can give me my credits. So is that clear? Do you guys get the homework? It seems that your mind is going to break my head. You say I don't like this, you laugh. Hope you've gotten the link, by the way. Have we gotten the link? Do we all get it? Do we all get the assignment? So class captains, please note this new link I sent to you. Send it on the group chat and send the screenshot of the first assignment. And just send it on the group chat for people that didn't know about it. So I would prefer your assignments to be in a file document, right? Because it's a lot. I don't want you to be sending me 1 million screenshots. So just put it in a file document and just send it to file document. And I wish and hope that we have our emails before then, so you can submit it through the emails and we don't flood the group chat. So that's the end of today's class. It was a beautiful ride. I don't know, maybe today I was more excited, I don't know, but I enjoyed today's class more than every other class. Because I'm already getting more comfortable with you guys and I'm getting more familiar. You're submitting tomorrow morning. Please, that's what you're submitting. It's not a lot, honestly. Honestly, it's not a lot. And you're like, why is this afternoon so not interesting? I hear. weekend assignment. I have more assignment for you over the weekend. This one is just a tip of the iceberg. That weekend assignment is a powerful one. That one I have it planned. Don't worry. Just do this one. It's actually easy. In less than no, you will not be awake all night. Okay, let me reduce it. Let me reduce the assignments. So I'll reduce the assignment to what? 7, right? We'll do 6 here. And if you want to do 13, who is this Ojoro person? It's a copy and paste and edit from W3 schools. Remember, yes, I'll be here till 2:15. I've not forgotten my promise. That's why I'm trying to like round up this class earlier. We will start earlier than that 2:15. We'll start by 1:40. By 1:40, I will entertain questions for people that are behind. And I guess this person should pay attention now. Sharon, because she just came. So pay attention, be around, be very active in this last class that we would have from like 1:40 to 2:15. So be and why is your Ojoro? I don't understand. You guys are making me I was changing my mind before. I wanted to give you guys 13. But I was changing my mind to give you guys 7. Right? I was trying to give you guys 7, but it seems you guys don't want me to give you 7. You guys are comfortable with that 13. I'm right? You're comfortable with that 13. You can do that 13. You can do all things. Through Christ that strengthens you. Exactly. I like peace. Peace said yes. She said yes. Fatima said yes. Please, Jesus, you see, they're even begging me that I should please. They get it. So that when you guys become senior dev in Microsoft, you guys remember. Exactly. I love this energy. Chop knuckle, peace. I love your energy. So prove me that you are capable. So do all your 13. I love my students. Wow. I love you guys. Thank you so much, Fatima. Thank you. So you guys, well done, guys. So you guys will do it. I know you can. You can do it. We have Anu, we have Adugo, Cedric, all of you. Elizabeth, Ijahai, can you pronounce your name? I saw it on the group chat. I thought that was a nickname. I don't want to murder your name. We have Miriam, we have Meruvi, we have Moses, Mr. Ezra, Eniola, Michael, Oluwagbade, Oluwatobi, Pam.
Hello,
If you notice, I'm just
my
calling
name
one
is
part of your
EJ.
name. Just so that it's because I cannot
EJ.
pronounce it. Can you say that again?
The name is EJ.
EJ. Oh, okay. Did I get that? EJ, right?
EJ, yes.
All right. So we have Daniel, we have Peace, we have Chioma, we have, where did I even stop? Since I've lost track. We have Ben, Mabel. We have Atiba. We have Victory. We have Ademola. So I want everybody to actually participate. I just don't want to know few people. I want to know everybody actually. I just don't want to know Stephanie. I just don't want to know Elise. I just don't want to know Merube. I just don't want to know Peace. I just don't want to know Eniola. I want to know every other person. So participate, comment, be a part of this class. So yeah, so any other question, I guess. Kindly go over the table again, Bao. Sorry that I said that. Sorry that I spoke in Yoruba. This is not supposed to be a class for that. You slept off. Don't worry, you look at the recordings, right? Why? I'll tell you why I can't. I'll tell you why I can't go back, because I promised some people that I was going to take their questions. So if I go back, I'm going to take out their time. So just look at the recording later on, right? I hope that helps, Atiba. Yeah, the rest of you can go now if you don't have a question, and let me just focus on the people that need my help. Wait, don't go yet. Please don't go. I don't know if Tolu still wants you. Please don't go. I beg you, don't go yet. Just wait, right? Then 2, you will go. Because I know by 2, Tolu is going to join this meeting. You can just be in the meeting and you don't have to say anything. Tolu is going to join by 2. I've sent the link to the assignment here, and I've told the course reps to send it to the group. I just saw Ijoma's comment. She said, Fatima, beg she drill us well, Kwanu. Now, wow. Ijoma, you'll be fine. Don't worry. Charity said P should do so that she will copy. Thank you so much for the comments, Fatima. And if you guys have any feedback, you can drop it on the comments on the WhatsApp group, right? So that I can improve on better ways you think I can improve the class. So how you put it in a file format? There's no special way. You already saved the file in a file format. You already have index.html in a file format. So you just send that index.html file format that you have to your WhatsApp. So yeah, that's it. So the people that I created this extra class for, please, can I see? So that
sorry for cutting you short. I want to ask, this new assignment, are we going to create another folder for it under our assignment?
No. Okay, if you want to, okay, beautiful. I like the question Fatima asked. So yesterday I told you to create another link, right? To link to another page, not link to Facebook or anything, link to another page. So you created a link to another page. So that other page you created will most likely be blank. So you can do your table in any of those assignments. It should be in the assignment folder, right? It should be in the assignment folder in any of those other link pages that you created it. So the link pages can be called, you can call it table.html, right? So you can call that link page table.html, then what? Post all your tables there for future references. So that when you see it in the next future, you'll be like, wow, I did this thing. So class captain, please resend the attendance so
I
that
have answered.
can have sign his attendance. Oh yeah, Ijoma, ask your question.
Okay, I'm using my laptop for this thing. How do I my WhatsApp is not my laptop, it's my phone. So how do I
you
send
have to use WhatsApp web like Fatima suggested. So you'll be able to send the file.
Yeah, how do I send it for my laptop? Okay, I have to open WhatsApp on my laptop.
Yes, open WhatsApp for your laptop through Chrome, right? Or you can
Through
download WhatsApp or through Chrome, anyone that you want to use.
Okay. All right.
Please, I have a question.
All right. So what's your question?
So you said we should create the links that were already created in the assignment we did the last time.
Yes.
We should link it to this new assignment.
No, we should use one of the links. Like we should change the name to like table.html. One of those links, right? We have assignment.html, which is the original one we started with. Then we linked from assignment.html to the other links, right? Are you getting that, Elise? Then in those other links you created, rename one of them to table.html and do your assignments there.
So when we create the link, wouldn't it take us to an empty website and not an HTML or something?
You're supposed to link you're supposed to link with. You're supposed to link
Or
another HTML page to it.
okay, so we create the table in an HTML folder, and then we'll link it to the assignment. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, okay, let me show you what I mean so that people are not confused, right? Is
Okay.
that fine?
Sure. Yes, that's fine.
Okay. So these are our what? For instance, this is our assignment folder, right? This is when I was showing us how to. So we have index in this assignment folder, right? So now I want to link another page. So come here, we put our A, right? So we want to link it to another page. So come here. So the table. Then we'll put the link. So the link we want to use is what? Hashtag. Then we'll go to folder. Let me open a new file. Right, select HTML. Right, so save the assignment, right? So we're saving it as what? Table. So we've saved it, right? So we'll link this table. So table HTML. And this is what? Table. So when we open it, so can we see it? Table. The moment where we click on table, it's supposed to carry us to another page. Come. I'm coming. Please give me 4 few minutes. Okay, this was where I was, right? So we don't need all of this. Yeah. We'll just link it like this. So can you see? This is the other what? HTML element and it's empty. It's just that simple. Then the other HTML element, which is table, that you've linked here, you just put your every other file that you need here. Then you do all your table documents here. But this is the original index.html. Or is this not how you guys linked?
No, this was not what we did. What we did was that we used our own like individual data. Like if you remember my own, then I had a Facebook icon where if you click the
Oh,
icon, it will take you to Facebook. We did external
That,
link, not
yeah,
linking
In
from
that was
our
what we did.
files.
all of you did the
That's what I did
Facebook
too.
icon and all of that, right?
No, not everybody. I'm talking
Yes,
about mine.
that was what I did
For me,
also.
I did a combination. I
Oh, okay.
did
You
the
did a
icon and then
combination.
I linked it to an external, like an already existing website. I linked it.
Oh. What
Yes.
I was not specific actually. I just said link. Well, you guys actually still linked because there are different ways to link. But what I meant was this. This is not forget about classwork folder. If you notice today, we didn't do so much on classwork folder, right? So just do today's zone. So this is what I was expecting you to do. So you link another HTML. So this is how to link another HTML. So you just write the name of the file. So now stop sharing my screen because I want to make someone share the screen so that I'll see the yesterday's assignment. So Miruvi, I've made you co-host. So share your screen. Let me see what you did. So have you guys gotten what you should do now? And if you did not get it, go back to the video. Save. All right. Wow. This is beautiful. Wow. Oh, you tried the image map. Merive, did you try the image map thing that you learned? If you did, well done. Okay, yeah, go back. This is beautiful. Wow. 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 I love this. I love this. Well done, Merve. Well done. I really love your website. And it was just HTML. Oh, you didn't even had CSS, and it looks beautiful. Is it only me that agrees that that is beautiful? Or we have other testifiers with me that also agree that that was beautiful, even without CSS. I must say that was beautiful. Well done, Merve. All right, so have you guys gotten what I want you guys to do now? So link it to another HTML file, right? So the other HTML file should be named table.html from your index.html, which was your assignment. Then do all your tables in your table.html. I'm sure some people left, so they didn't get this information, or they didn't leave. Just not everybody that left, Tabi. Okay, so the people that made us wait, can I have your questions now? Or if you have any question. So ask me questions so I'll know where to start from. I cannot say everything I've learned, I've been teaching. Just tell me where you have issues.
Okay, ma, good afternoon.
So good afternoon, Elizabeth.
This is Elizabeth. Yesterday I was not able to follow up with the image map. So I need some more explanations on image map.
All right. Okay, so image map. Please, can someone help me note all these things down? So first one person I said image map. What else?
Hello, ma.
Yeah.
Ma, please, you gave an explanation to someone, but it's not so clear to me because I'm using my WhatsApp on my phone and then I'm using my laptop. How to share directly from your file to your system.
Okay.
You said we should use the WhatsApp web, but I don't understand how to use it.
Okay. Please, someone should volunteer. Can the course rep help me volunteer to note all these things down? So I'll be taking them one by one. All right. So what else? Is that all? Is that the only two things we're doing?
Hello,
That all?
you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please, it's regarding the contact me, the Facebook, the Twitter, and the LinkedIn. For for the assignment you submitted earlier.
Okay, you've not.
I didn't get that. I was not able to put the reference.
What did you say?
I was not able to put the LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter references.
Okay, okay, okay. Please, can the class captain help me? Or the class captains have gone. Can you help me note all these things you're saying? Okay, thank you, Pam. So 3 people have spoken now. Please help me note it and post it on the chat here so that I can. Okay, so Moses, do you want to say anything?
Hello.
Yes.
My own issue has to do with the visual code now.
What?
My visual code.
Okay. Oh, when you want that entered my DM?
Yep.
Yeah, I will answer your question. I'm sorry. After the classes like this, I zone out because I have other things I need to do. So I'm not even online. So I will help you sort that out now. So that's 40. So what else? Kobe, do you have anything? Where is Sharon? Sharon is no longer in this class. So please, can the course rep help me write out those things that they said so that I can start answering all of them one by one? So okay, enlightening more on image map. So let's do that quickly. So image map deals with more of images, right? And for the images, what we're trying to do is that we're trying to use our image. Like when we click on our image, it should be able to take us to another what? Another image, right? So the HTML map just helps us what? Locate the area on our image whereby we want to like do all that we want to do. What do I mean by all that we want to do? That is, we'll link our normal image, which is first image, right? When we've linked that image using our source, that is the image name and the file type, and we've kept our ALT, we'll also use an attribute called what? Use map. So we only use this use map attribute when we want to do what? Image, right? So we'll now do map name. So map name is equal to what? Work map. So we're saying that this work map, because we're saying you should use map. So we're now calling this use map called work map in the map name, so that we'll be able to map it in our original picture. So this work map name is going to use different area. There are different areas you can locate for your picture. So the area you want to use can have a rectangle shape, it can have a square shape, or it can be poly. So for poly, it's not a definite shape, right? Because it's not a definite shape, you're now the one that is now like trying to get what? different shapes that you can use. Is that clear? I hope I'm not confusing you. All right, so we have our area. So the area is going to find the area elements will enable you to define what attributes that have the shape, the coordinate of those shape, then the else, like what's that image is, maybe it's computer, it's phone, it's coffee or whatever. So for the first one, we have the word computer, right? Then the second one, we have the words, we have the chords, we have the rectangle, we have the chords and all of those things. Then the third one, we have circle. That one is going to show you the different shapes in the words, in the circle. So how it works is that, okay, there's also default. If you use default, it's in the entire region. So anywhere you click in the entire region, it will take you to where you want to go to. So it's when you want specific area, that is where you use rectangle, circle, and poly. And to use rectangle, circle, and poly, you need to use coordinates. And how do you get that coordinate? You get the coordinates by using what? Your margin. There's something called margin. Margin top, margin right. You use it of that image to locate the exact one, right? So you find the coordinates until it gives you the exact area that you want. I hope that answers your question. As this brief explanation made it clear.
Sorry, please, I just want to ask a question. For the coordinates, like since you can't, how do you actually measure these coordinates?
So how you measure the coordinates is by doing margin top and margin down, right?
How do you do margin top and margin?
All right, so let me show you an example. Let's do this together. So can you see? So this is our old picture, right? So this is all the old picture. So if this is all the old picture, right? I'm coming. Yeah. So this is audio picture, right? So if this audio picture, if this audio picture, we just want only this what? This part of the picture. And for us to get this part of the picture, there's something called X and Y axis, right? It's the X and Y axis that's giving us coordinates. I know that X axis cuts across what? Left to right. So X axis is like from left to right, right? And Y axis is from what? Top to down, right? So if we take this first place from top to down here, and from left to right, normally on your left and right axis, this place already, if you start from here and here, right? This place already says that is more of like, if the down part is here, that means all this down part is what? Negative, right? The up part is what? Positive, right? And this part here is what? Negative, and this part what is positive, because it's more of like this. Let me show you so you can see it. Right? So this is the point. Is this part that is what? The zero. Then for it to go like this is positive. For it to come down like this is negative, right? Then so that's zero, positive and negative. But that positive and negative is now measured in pixels. So you cannot use negative, right? You measure it in pixels. And when you measure it in pixels, you measure it from the left margin and from the top margin. That is from this left place to this place, how many pixels will it take me to move from here to here? So you can measure it with your eyes, right? So if it's like it was around this place, you'll be like, okay, this will take like 100 pixels or 150 pixels or thereabouts, right? But from here to here, you should take around like what? 34 pixels because it's on the left. While from this stop here to this stop here, will take around like what? 44 pixels, right? That's what's going to give us this place. Then if you now want to get the other place will be from the what? Left to the what? To the right. So if you notice, this place is what? More. This place is more because it's longer than the area from here to here. The area from here to here is short. That's why we use like 30 something. And the area from here to here is short. That's why we use like 30 something. So now we'll now use another pixel. But this pixel will be for what? Left margin. And this left margin from here to here is like how many? It's a lot. It's more than that 34. It will be like 270. You will use guess and error, right? Until you get the right thing. And if you want from here to here, that one will be a lot. It's not, you cannot compare from here to here to from here to here, right? So you can use like 350. It's not like you have a specific one that you use. You can use try and error. Then you use to get the coordinates. Then you write the first one, which is the one at this part, and the second one, which is the one for this part. Then you combine everything. Why the one for circle? For circle, you look for the what? The center. Why for the one of polygon? You just, or the one of different shapes, poly rather. You just pick the edge, different edges of that image. Then you join everything together so that you can cover it. I guess that has answered the question. Are we more clear? Oh, you don't know what coordinate is. Coordinate is X and Y. Sorry, I'm just seeing it. It's a math term, like graph. You do graph. You see X and Y. So the second one is how to use the WhatsApp, right? How to use WhatsApp web. Okay, so I'll show you an example. So I have WhatsApp web on my phone. So I'll show you my own WhatsApp web. Right? So I'll exit this so that I can show you what I just did. I came here, right? So when I came here, I did what? Web, WhatsApp web. Because I already have it on my laptop, so it has come out. And I use better WhatsApp because I use my WhatsApp a lot for my web. So it connects. So if it's for your first time, if it's your first time you're going to use it, to tell you to what? Let me log out so that I can log in. Let me log out, right? So that I can log in and you can see how this is done. I'm coming, I'm logging out so you can see it. So I've logged out, right? So because I've logged out, this is what came up. The person that asked the question, hope you can see. So when I created the WhatsApp web, this was what came out, right? So you've just followed the instructions here. They say open WhatsApp on your phone, tap menu or settings, and select linked device. Linked device, tap on link a device, then point your phone to this screen to capture the code. So I'll go and get my phone now so that I can capture it. But if you still don't get it through what they've said, you can watch the video. They kept the video there to show you a description. It's 9 minutes. So can you see? They've shown you a description. It's that simple. Then automatically you have your WhatsApp on your device. They show you for Android. They've also showed you for Apple. So can you see that? That's easy.
Sorry, does it use data? Like if I'm transferring, does it carry all my chats and everything into the WhatsApp web?
Yes, it will. I'll show you my own. You will see my own now.
Okay. And I will still be able to use the one on my phone as well too. Like it doesn't log me out of my phone. once I log into the web. Hello?
She went to get her phone. No.
Okay.
I went to get my phone. My phone was not beside me. I'm back. So you see how it works. Now WhatsApp now even has a cool feature whereby if you're not even on WhatsApp for a long time, right? If you're not on WhatsApp for a long time, you can load and you already have beta WhatsApp. So I use beta WhatsApp. So even if I'm not online on WhatsApp, before how this feature works is that it's until you're online on WhatsApp, right? Before you can use WhatsApp on your other device. Now, even if I'm not online on WhatsApp, I can still do what I want to do. Like my phone, my WhatsApp data on my phone will be off. But the moment when I connect my WhatsApp here, I can be receiving messages here, and on my phone, I'm not receiving message. So WhatsApp has they've improved their feature. Yeah. So can you see?
My line is okay.
Be getting your information here. You see me doing whatever I want.
Is it playing piano?
So if you don't want to send the file, you come here. What did you say?
Your audio is breaking.
Can you hear me?
No, we weren't hearing you before. Your audio was breaking.
What was the last
Even now, it's still breaking.
you heard? Please, can somebody make me?
Oh my God.
Can you make me also so that I can share? Okay. All right. So I've answered your WhatsApp question now, Shay. Then you see, who is that?
Hello, ma'am. The one that asked the question.
Tolu, can you hear
Not
me?
you, the one singing.
So can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma.
What was the third question? So Tolu, we are done. I'm just waiting behind for people that have questions. Some people can leave. I don't know when it was so they could leave. So it's just people that have questions.
Okay, no problem.
So you can even
And
stop
let me
the
stop. Let me stop the recording.